Let's hear now what some of our Kingsway customers have to say about their building experience with Kingsway Homes.
This is our first home we've built with Kingsway. This is our first home we've built. It's been really easy so far. It's been a lot less stressful than I had ever thought it would. I think a lot of people hear the horror stories out there of building a house and project delays, and it really has been a very, very good experience.
We had looked at a lot of homes, a lot of parade homes, and we felt that the design of Kingsway was just superior to anything that we saw.
My wife and I went into a model home, and just walking around the model home, talking to the salesperson, we got a really good feeling for the builder, for the quality of their workmanship, and that allowed us to take the next step.
Our sales consultant for the process has been Pam, and she has been absolutely amazing. She's answered every question that we've had. She's gone above and beyond what we've asked for her to do. She's been very prompt with getting back to us with responses, and she definitely went out of her way to show us a lot of the other different Kingsway homes and models, so we had the exact perfect house that we wanted.
That poor girl would come to our home all the time with prints and drawings and then changes. I even remember she came on Christmas Eve once to bring us the drawings.
We worked with VAC. We came in within the week that we had initially saw the Kingston, had ideas in our head. We sat down with VAC and went over what we wanted. And of course, I was very skeptical at first. I had things that I wanted in my home, and I was like, okay, he's going to actually draw it out for me, and yes, he did. It was very quick, just seamless.
He has a terrific sense of sight lines and space and visual. I've gone into a lot of homes and often wondered, why was that house designed like that? And you can see in this house and a lot of other houses that VAC has designed, there's everything is to perfection. He can really design a home that has the character you want, but also the design and the flow.
VAC and the design team really kind of made our concept a reality. And very, very willing to take any of our ideas, put them on paper, and run them by us.
We worked with Dave Chedevy during the building process. He basically kept us up to date on what was going to be done when, kind of step by step.
During the construction process, we've actually already made a couple changes to our home, and they've been absolutely accommodating. They didn't give us any grief or any problems about us wanting to change things.
He had years of experience, so things in our laundry room. He basically said, I think you need to have this folding counter a little bit wider, a little bit deeper, so that it's more usable. This door should be placed this way or turned this way.
We originally had planned for a closed den, and as the house was being built, they realized that it was starting to feel a little closed in the entry area. And they had recommended that it would look a lot better if we opened the staircase up with kind of a peekaboo window that went into the living room. Visiting
the Kingsway Selection Center was extremely helpful. Everything we needed was right there. We didn't need to go to different places and look at different selections. Becky, the design consultant, would bring everything to us, and we just sat in her office and she showed us everything that we needed and that we selected for our home.
Working with Becky in the selection process was another one of the fun parts of the process. Just being able to go into their design studio and having everything kind of in front of you to be able to go through and pick the selections for counters and floors and hardware on the cabinets and everything in one spot instead of having to go to all sorts of different stores. And then being able to get her experience and her insight. With her design experience, she was able to guide us, but she was able to pretty quickly pick up the style that we were looking for and the look that we were looking for and help us in kind of saying, based on the conversations, I know you're not going to want this, and help us narrow down kind of the selections very quickly. It was another one of the very fun parts of the process.
The best part of building with Kingsway for us is the feeling that we could feel comfortable and confident with them as our builder.
They did everything that we asked. The house exceeded our expectation, and we feel like we're part of this Kingsway family. We like to go to their open houses still, even though we built 4 years ago, they still invite us to their open houses, and we like to look at the projects they have. It feels like a family to me, and that's really important. I like to feel comfortable with who I work with, not just tell them what to do. I like to feel comfortable and part of a group, and that's how I feel with them.
And just working with the people, it's almost like they're part of the family now. And if we do decide to ever build again, and go down that route, we would definitely look at Kingsway to build with again.
We are extremely pleased with our finished home. It's unbelievable how it just fits us. You know, we found a home, a plan that we liked, and I still can't believe to this day that here we are, not even a year later, in our home, enjoying it, loving it, living in it. I mean, it's awesome.